Have you ever had a moment in life when someone close to you wronged you, and you found yourself at a crossroads, torn between anger and the desire for revenge? It was a similar situation when my sister Lisa borrowed money from me and then flaunted a new, extravagant life. You'd think I'd have been cautious the second time she asked for financial help, but as the events unfolded, I realized this wasn't just about revenge or borrowed money. This is a story about transformation, the unexpected journey of a family member who took a chance, a second chance, and transformed her life beyond recognition. It's about the twists and turns, the ups and downs, and the ultimate quest for redemption and change. Our family's journey was filled with suspense, laughter, and even a touch of irony, making it a tale worth sharing. So let me take you through the roller coaster ride that unfolded after my sister Lisa borrowed money and asked again. My name is Brian, and this is my story. My sister Lisa has always had a taste for the finer things in life, a penchant she chose to satisfy through a medley of loans and borrowing sprees. We grew up in a regular suburban neighborhood with hardworking parents who lived by the ethos of thrift and prudence. Lisa, however, was the black sheep, ever attracted to the shimmer of a lavish lifestyle. When she first asked to borrow money from me, claiming it was for rent and bills, my heart melted in a puddle of sibling love and empathy, and I willingly lent her a substantial amount without hesitation. Imagine my outrage when her supposed struggles were promptly followed by an extravagant vacation to the Bahamas, showcased in a series of flashy social media posts. My mind buzzed with betrayal. So this was her rent and bills. Swallowing my indignation, I decided to confront her. Lisa, I tried to maintain an even tone. I thought you needed money for rent, not for a vacation. Her response was a casual shrug. Oh, things just worked out and I needed the break. Don't be such a prude. I was livid but resolved to bide my time. A concoction of equal parts revenge and enlightenment brewed in my mind. Lisa needed to learn a lesson, one wrapped in layers of humor and irony, a lesson she would never forget. Months went by, and Lisa's taste for opulence showed no signs of waning. One day, she approached me again, her voice a well-rehearsed symphony of despair and need. I am really struggling this time. Could you please lend me some money? A smirk tugged at the corners of my lips, the plan hatching in my mind almost making me giddy. Of course, Lisa, I said, my voice dripping with faux concern. I am always here to help you. What Lisa didn't know was that this time, her brother was ready with a plan, a devious, hilarious scheme to teach her the value of money and honesty. Instead of money, I handed her a series of elaborate puzzles and riddles, a treasure hunt, if you will, with the promise of a hefty cash reward at the end. Lisa, her eyes gleaming with greed, delved right in, oblivious to the moral epiphany awaiting her at the journey's end. The treasure hunt was carefully crafted, leading her through a labyrinth of tasks, each more outrageous and embarrassing than the last. From singing in a chicken costume in the town square to mowing lawns in a ball gown, Lisa's pursuit of wealth saw her throwing caution and dignity to the wind, much to the amusement of friends and strangers alike. As she navigated this wacky obstacle course, I could see the frustration simmering beneath her determined facade. "This has to be worth it," she muttered, beads of sweat crowning her forehead. "The money at the end has to be huge." Her final task led her to our childhood home, to the very room we grew up in. Here, amidst the nostalgia and remnants of our shared past, awaited her treasure, a beautifully wrapped box. Lisa tore into it with the fervor of a child on Christmas morning, only to find it empty, save for a mirror and a note. The mirror, I hoped, would force her to confront her own reflection, her greed and deception laid bare. The note, penned with a mix of love and reproach, read, "Sometimes the real treasure is learning to value what we have, to seek richness in character over wealth, and to find happiness in honesty." Lisa stared at her reflection, a myriad of emotions playing across her face. I waited, my heart pounding, for her reaction. Would she understand the message? Would she see this not as revenge, but as a plea for her to find her moral compass? "I never knew how much I needed this lesson," she finally whispered, tears glistening in her eyes. I stepped forward, enveloping her in a tight hug. "I just want the best for you, Lisa." Her journey of moral awakening was the talk of the town, the humorous antics coupled with the powerful message resonating with many. Lisa, humbled and enlightened, vowed to turn a new leaf, to live a life of sincerity and integrity. And I, the architect of this journey, found solace not in revenge, but in the hope that my sister had finally found her way. After this moral epiphany, Lisa appeared to retreat into a cocoon of self-reflection and contemplation. I hoped she was metamorphosing into a being of virtue and conscience. However, deep inside, a sliver of doubt lingered, whispering warnings of superficial transformations. Weeks turned into months, and Lisa began exhibiting a newfound appreciation for frugality and sincerity. She took up a job and was seemingly living within her means, her social media accounts devoid of any flamboyant displays of wealth or excess. I, albeit cautiously, started believing in her transformation, thinking, perhaps she truly has changed. However, just when I was beginning to let my guard down, something didn't add up. A friend of mine casually mentioned seeing Lisa at a high-end boutique, splurging on luxury items. I felt a mixture of anger and disappointment brewing within me. Was her change just a facade? I decided to dig deeper, to unveil the truth behind her supposed reformation. My investigations led me to a secret social media account, a clandestine canvas where Lisa painted her life in strokes of extravagance and opulence, hidden from the prying eyes of her family and friends. I was dumbfounded. All her talk of change was nothing but a sham. I knew I needed to act, to expose her double life and make her face the repercussions of her deception. However, this time, I wanted the lesson to be public, unforgettable, and most importantly, humorous. I concocted a plan, one that would see Lisa unwittingly revealing her true colors to our circle of friends and family. A surprise intervention-cum-birthday party was organized under the guise of celebrating her newfound sense of responsibility and honesty. The party was set up with meticulous attention to detail. The guests were excited, believing they were here to applaud Lisa's moral reawakening. The air buzzed with anticipation, the undercurrent of my ingenious revelation making my heart race. She won't see this coming. Lisa walked in, greeted by cheers and applause, completely oblivious to the storm brewing. I stepped forward, the perfect picture of a proud brother, and began my speech. We are all here to celebrate Lisa's transformation. The room reverberated with claps and whistles. However, the cheerful atmosphere was soon replaced by gasps and whispers as I projected Lisa's secret social media account onto a large screen, unveiling her life of deceit and luxury. The crowd stared in shock, disbelief painted on their faces, and all eyes turned to Lisa, awaiting an explanation. Lisa, her face a palette of embarrassment and guilt, tried to stutter out an explanation. I didn't mean to. It's not what it looks like." The room was tense, a collective breath held in anticipation. I broke the silence, my voice a mixture of humor and admonition. "Lisa, we are not here to criticize, but to help you face your own contradictions." I revealed that this intervention was my doing, a brother's desperate attempt to help his sister find her true self. Laughter and murmurs filled the room, the crowd appreciating the clever, ironic twist. Lisa, although red-faced and exposed, seemed to understand that this was not a vendetta, but a wake-up call, delivered with a side of humor and love. This revelation, coupled with the public humorous exposure, became the catalyst for genuine change in Lisa. She realized the folly of her ways, the emptiness of a life built on lies and materialism. Her eyes, now open, were filled with tears of realization and remorse. "I am so sorry. I promise to be better." This day marked the beginning of Lisa's true transformation, a journey from superficiality to substance, from deception to sincerity. I, her brother, watched with pride and hope as Lisa embraced her flaws and embarked on the path of redemption, her journey a blend of humor, love, and moral awakening. Lisa's journey towards transformation after the intervention was marked with both introspection and tangible efforts to change. Our family was hopeful, yet a shadow of skepticism lingered, whispering, "Is this transformation real, or just another act in her elaborate play of deception?" Lisa took up more shifts at her work, signed up for financial literacy classes, and even started volunteering at a local shelter. Her actions seemed to echo her newfound values, making me think, maybe this time she's sincere. However, the real test of her transformation arrived unexpectedly. One evening, she approached me, her face an interplay of hesitation and hope. "I need to borrow some money again." My immediate reaction was a blend of disbelief and anger. Here we go again, another scheme under the guise of need. But her next words were like a gentle breeze, dissipating the fog of doubt and resentment. "I've been saving and working hard, but I've fallen short for my rent. I promise to pay back every penny," she implored earnestly, her eyes a clear pool of sincerity. Observing her actions and listening to her sincere plea, I found myself in a quandary. Is helping her the right choice, or am I falling into another one of her traps? The next days were a roller coaster of contemplation and internal debates. Should I trust her again? Is she truly changed, or is this just a meticulous, well-crafted act to exploit my goodwill? Then a subtle yet brilliant idea sparked in my mind, an idea that could verify her sincerity and potentially provide a humorous, enlightening lesson if she was being deceitful. If she's sincere, she deserves help, but if not, a dash of humor-infused karma won't hurt. I decided to lend her the money, but with an unorthodox condition. She would receive the rent money in pennies. Yes, you read that right, pennies. I thought to myself, this will be the perfect test. If her need is genuine, she'll accept it with grace, but if it's a facade, her reaction will expose her true intentions. I procured bags of pennies, a sum hefty enough to cover her rent, and presented them to her. Her reaction was a symphony of shock, disbelief, and finally, a hearty laugh. "I guess I deserve this. It will be a workout paying my rent in pennies." Her response, marked by humility and humor, was the final piece in the puzzle of trust, confirming her sincerity and validating her transformation. I felt a rush of relief and pride. She's truly changed. She understands the value of money and the importance of sincerity. This penny ordeal became a cherished family anecdote, a humorous reminder of the importance of honesty and the consequences of deception. It served as a beacon for Lisa, illuminating her path towards true transformation, with every penny symbolizing a step away from her past and towards a future built on sincerity and substance. Her journey was not without its bumps and twists, but her resolve stayed strong, the lessons learned from her humorous, penny-filled redemption acting as her compass. The family watched, a mix of amusement and pride as Lisa evolved, her actions and values finally in harmonious synchrony. "I've learned that the facade of extravagance is not worth the price of losing one's values and trust," she would often say, a smile dancing on her lips, her eyes sparkling with the light of true transformation. In the weeks that followed, Lisa's transformation continued to unfold in layers, revealing a persona we never knew existed within her. She was more mindful, grounded, and had cultivated a newfound appreciation for the simpler things in life. Her zeal for flashy living seemed to have dissolved into the background, overshadowed by a deeper understanding of life's true values. Every conversation with her was like peeling an onion, uncovering more layers of her evolving personality, making me think, is this the sister I grew up with? Her discussions were now infused with reflections and insights, rather than her usual tales of extravagant exploits and indulgences. Lisa seemed to be walking the path of redemption with a purposeful stride, her every step echoing her commitment to change. However, life has a way of presenting us with curveballs, testing our resolve and our newfound wisdom. One day, Lisa received an invitation to an extravagant event hosted by her old friends, the ones who had witnessed and participated in her past life of extravagance and deception. My initial thought was, this is a trap, a labyrinth that could pull her back into her old ways. I watched her closely, curious and slightly apprehensive as she considered the invitation. Would she succumb to the allure of her past life, or would her newfound values guide her through this test? In an unexpected, yet pleasantly surprising move, Lisa decided to attend the event, not with the intention to indulge, but to showcase her transformation and perhaps inspire a change in her friends. I could not help but feel a mixture of pride and anxiety. Is she strong enough to face the temptations lurking in her past environment? The day of the event arrived, and Lisa, dressed in a simple, elegant outfit, left with a promise. I'm not the person I once was, and I intend to prove it. Her words were like a soothing melody, calming the storm of worries brewing within me. At the event, the air was thick with opulence, each detail screaming extravagance. Lisa's entrance was met with a mixture of surprise, curiosity, and whispers, her simple elegance a stark contrast to the flashy ambiance. Is this the Lisa we know? The air seemed to echo the silent question. Lisa, with her newfound grace and wisdom, navigated the event, her every move and word a testament to her transformation. She engaged in conversations, not about her latest splurges, but about her journey, her lessons, and her aspirations. Her words were like seeds, sown in the minds of her friends, challenging their perceptions and provoking introspection. I was told that the whisperings grew, not of disbelief, but of admiration and reflection. Her old friends found themselves at a crossroads, facing the mirror of truth presented by Lisa's transformation. Is the life we are living truly fulfilling, or are we just prisoners of our own illusions? As Lisa shared her journey, her struggles, and her revelations, a ripple of change spread through the room. The air was charged with a newfound energy, a blend of realization, reflection, and the whisperings of transformation. The event, intended to be a celebration of extravagance, turned into a symposium of life's true values and the essence of fulfillment. Lisa left the event, her heart light and her spirit buoyant, her mission accomplished. The whispers of change continued to resonate, with some of her friends reaching out, expressing their admiration and their desire to embark on their journeys of transformation. In witnessing Lisa's journey and its profound impact, I found myself engulfed in a mixture of pride, relief, and enlightenment. True transformation is not just about changing oneself, but about inspiring change in others. The echo of this realization stayed with me, reshaping my perceptions and enriching my understanding of life's true essence. It was in this atmosphere of revelation and rediscovery that Lisa approached me once more, her eyes radiating a mix of humility and resolve. I need to borrow money again, she confessed, her voice a soft symphony of vulnerability and sincerity. I want to invest it in a project, something that can help people rediscover themselves, just like I did. In any other circumstance, I would have been hesitant, but seeing the transformative journey Lisa had undertaken and the positive ripple it had created, I found myself contemplating. Is this the opportunity to support a cause that could bring about change, not just in one individual, but potentially in many? I extended the support she requested, not out of obligation or family ties, but out of belief in her vision and her capacity to bring it to life. This is not just a loan, but an investment in transformation, in a vision that could ignite a wave of change, I thought, feeling a spark of hope and excitement. Lisa embraced the opportunity with passion and commitment, channeling her energy and resources into creating a platform for transformation and self-discovery. She called it the Awakening Oasis, a space where individuals could embark on journeys of self-exploration, shedding their illusions and discovering their true selves. The project was a melting pot of workshops, seminars, and counseling sessions, each designed to peel away the layers of pretense and awaken the essence of true living. It became a sanctuary for those seeking purpose, fulfillment, and authentic happiness. The news of the Awakening Oasis spread, drawing individuals from various walks of life, each with their unique stories and their aspirations for change. The space became a haven for transformation, a place where lives were reshaped, visions redefined, and spirits rejuvenated. Lisa's journey had come full circle, her transformation not just a personal victory, but a beacon of hope and inspiration for many. She had turned her life around, from a seeker of shallow pleasures to a harbinger of profound change. Her story is a testament to the power of transformation, a narrative of redemption and awakening, I mused, witnessing the unfolding of her vision. As I watched Lisa, the architect of change, weaving her tapestry of transformation, I couldn't help but feel a surge of pride and admiration. She has transformed her borrowed chance into a legacy of change, I reflected, seeing the waves of transformation emanating from her project. The repayment of the loan was not in currency, but in the rich tapestry of changed lives, enlightened spirits, and the blossoming of true values. The echoes of transformation were the true repayment, a symphony of awakening resonating far and wide, transcending the boundaries of material worth.